All right, all right, all right, all right. What is going on out there in the social cyberspace? Major breaking news going on in the NFL. A long time head coach, like I told you, Mike Tomlin has now decided to step down from his perch of being with the Pittsburgh Steelers forever and ever. Keith, you said it was how long?
19 years.
19
19
years.
years.
We are
Mhm.
joined by MSNBC contributor, Steelers fan, former ESPN editor, all of that. Been around sports for a long time. Rashad Jennings, former Giants running back, should be hopping on here in a second. And anybody else I send this tweet and link to. But we have to react to it. I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor while I send out a couple of things out here on my phone. And for anybody else listening here, I'm also going to have some other nuggets and things to kind of share with you on this live link. Keith won't be on too long. I might keep going. But Keith, just give us your instant reaction. You watched the game last night against the Texans. You know I was fearing the D-line from Houston. And then the game did not end the way you wanted it to.
No, I mean, if you're a Steelers fan like I am, it totally didn't end the way you wanted it to. Obviously, I really thought that the offensive line in particular, was just obviously not ready for what the Texans defensive front brought. I thought that the Steelers had opportunities to win that game last night, especially when you consider that they forced 3 turnovers. But when you just don't score, I mean, you had a team that plays in a dome on the road on Monday night in Pittsburgh, playing next to a frozen river in the cold, and you force 3 turnovers and you got no points off of any of those turnovers. That's pretty much going to tell you how the game will go. In terms of my reaction to Tomlin, I think anybody would be shocked and stunned by this. Even though around Pittsburgh and the Steelers fan base, with a
Outside of
lot of
me.
well,
We
so
talked about
outside of
this last week. Okay, all right.
we've been talking. You and I have been having this conversation for a while.
Yeah.
And I did not want to believe that he was on his way out. I know that a lot of Steelers fans have been calling for Mike Tomlin's head for quite some time. I did not think that the Rooneys would let him go, and ultimately they didn't. But I also just wasn't convinced that he was ready to step away. But if you watched his press conference last night, I was not at the stadium, but if you watched just his press conference last night, there was something a little bit different about him. It looked like he was a little bit glassy-eyed. He was a little bit more reserved about his future.
Glassy-eyed meaning, do you mean teary-eyed? Because, some people can take glassy-eyed.
Not quite teary, and I said that specifically, right? Because he wasn't
Okay.
quite teary-eyed. He wasn't actually crying, but if you looked at him, he just had this kind of look in his eye. It was like, man, that one looked a little bit deeper. That one looked a little bit more personal. That one looked like it affected him more than any of the other losses. And if you go back to the prior, at least 2 years when he'd been asked about his future, he was always immediately dismissive about whether or not he would come back. There was never a question in Mike Tomlin's mind, never ever publicly that he revealed that he was even thinking about leaving. But last night, it just was not that after that loss. And if you want to think about it symbolically, people always talk about Mike Tomlin having never had a losing season. In 19 years, Tomlin had never lost a home Monday night football game. And this one in the playoffs on Monday night in Acrisure, or I like to still call it Heinz Field, that he lost that game with the circumstances being what they were, was a little bit symbolic that things were about to change. And then here we went this afternoon with the announcement that he would leave the Steelers.
All right, so we're joined by Rashad Jennings, former Giants running back, taking all day, greasing up his hair, late for the live stream as usual. I got to run downstairs. I gotta do this. I gotta be in the car. Rashad, what's going on?
Hey man, don't let her do that. Don't let her do that to you.
When you got 2 kids, things change,
I don't know about
man.
that life. I don't know about that life.
Hey, it's a different life.
On purpose. Huh? What'd you say?
It's a different life. It's a different life. Lovely though. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
I hear you, and I know you got some beautiful kids. So, hey, listen. So you're on with us, obviously. MSNBC contributor Keith Reed is on. He's a Steelers fan. Rashad, have the two of you been on my show at the same time on my past shows?
I haven't had the privilege.
Okay, so y'all meet each other. Keith moved to your left. I just texted that to you. I don't know if you saw my text, but while you're doing that, Keith, just a little bit. Rashad, give me your reaction to Mike Tomlin stepping down from the Steelers real quick.
Kind of expected at this point. I mean, listen, contribute. I think it's a bittersweet thing for everybody involved. I mean, obviously the Steelers don't want to get rid of him. I don't even think Mike Tomlin necessarily wants to step away from the Steelers organization, but it's the same story every year, and I think it runs itself dry.
What's the same story every year.
The same story every early exit, 7 years in a row, 7 playoff losses immediately, can't win in the playoffs. He's ran his course, great coach. I think for me personally, obviously this is not coming from any source or anything from him, but like when you start talking about legacy, long-term legacy, you don't want just your legacy to be, I was always above 500. And with it running dry, the storyline of the Steelers consistently making it to the playoffs and losing, the more he is consistently the head coach. And it's, God forbid, if he would have stayed and remained a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach in the next season, they would have not had a winning record. It becomes the conversation of legacy changes. One. Two, I don't think that's his macho. I think he is a Hall of Famer head coach for a reason. I think he just is, it's time for a change. Let's see if we could do this somewhere else. Or he might just want to hang it up. He might want to get behind the mic. I don't know what he has in store, but when we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and we think about Mike Tomlin, I think he did the right thing stepping away.
Yeah, and I'll jump in on that, right? So for me, and again, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a journalist who covers sports, but also as a Pittsburgh native and a fan. It is difficult to imagine the Steelers at this point without Mike Tomlin. But if you step out of your fandom and think about it rationally, nobody coaches an NFL team. Whether you win Super Bowls or don't win Super Bowls in whatever city you're in, nobody coaches an NFL team for more than 20 years. Nobody gets 7 years of not having success in the playoffs. But also what I have cautioned other Steelers fans and other people that I know in Pittsburgh is be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. And I said this before Ben Roethlisberger retired. There were people who were saying, and yes, he wasn't going to be the quarterback of the team forever. And no, Mike Tomlin wasn't going to be the coach of the Steelers forever. But be careful what you wish for, because there's a team 2 hours up the road from us that has changed head coaches and quarterbacks like you change your underwear, and that does not yield success, right? There are teams out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? There are teams out there who change their coaches and change their quarterbacks like nobody's business. I remember the 20 years between the time that Terry Bradshaw, and this is dating myself, but I remember what it was like after Bradshaw retired. I was today, and today's my birthday. I got another one.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
On stream and then don't say happy birthday.
That's all good. 27 today. 27 today.
27?
But I remember
happy
I'm 27.
Birthday.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But I remember those years between Bradshaw and how long it took you to get back to what you were used to when you got Ben Roethlisberger. And there were a lot of quarterbacks in there just that did not have success and weren't up to par, right? Very few teams can say, no team, as a matter of fact, can say that every coach that they've had since the 1960s won a Super Bowl, at least one, went to at least two. The Steelers are now in a place where every other team in the NFL has been, except for them, over the last 50 plus years, which is you don't have a head coach and you don't have a quarterback. Nobody just of my generation or younger can remember a Pittsburgh Steelers team that did not have either the head coach or the quarterback. By the way, going into a year where the Steelers are about to host the NFL draft. We are in a new world right now.
Let me just jump in there and say this, for those of you who have not seen, my timeline or not familiar. just want to reiterate this. Going back to November, we had put out there saying that there was a longtime NFL coach that was looking for a change of scenery. Recently, we already revealed that was Mike Tomlin. Obviously, that has come to fruition today. I wanted to say prior to the notice of the 2:00 meeting, I got a text from a source saying that strong indications that he was going to be stepping down. And, going back and forth with whether I was going to say that in that tweet, ultimately just put out that there was a meeting. And then the news followed within and I knew people was going to see that tweet, but whatever. A minute or 2 minutes later with him stepping down. And then since then, we have put out, just so you guys are familiar, that, league source has told me that there are league sources who have heard, Mike Tomlin say that he would prefer a warm weather team. Obviously, it takes two to tango. If that's going to happen, he's going to have TV offers out there. I've also heard Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh being at the top of the Miami Dolphins list. It's been known that, at least in tight league circles, that Tomlin was thinking about this. So you can put whatever you want to put together with regards of, Mike McDaniel's departure, at least, feeling comfortable. And you can also have discussions, because even among my sources, we say that he thought that was going to happen regardless. And the other thing I just wanted to add to that is that I do believe, especially I think Andy Reid makes $20 million, that between John Harbaugh, between Mike Tomlin, that if both, and well, obviously, yes, John Harbaugh, but let's just assume that Mike Tomlin is going to, go forward with coaching. If he does, both of them about to get a bag. 20 million over. You know what I'm saying? Both of them about to get about to get paid. And I just want to know where do you think, Rashad, that Mike Tomlin would be best placed as far as the current vacancies, or if there's any team that should be on notice that has a head coach who feels like his job is secure, need to be on that phone calling his agent right now?
Well, it depends on his temperament. Does he want to go somewhere right away and bid for an opportunity to win a championship? I think he go to Baltimore Ravens right across the street. If he wants to rebuild a legacy, I know one team that got a lot of money, and that's the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
They have to spend a lot. They got the most money to spend.
Yeah, but I think Tom Brady's going to go offense. There are people around the league who believe that the Raiders are going to go offense with that coach. Again, things can change. I'm just saying what people currently feel. Not to mention that Tom Brady has recently, just been talking about. I think Mendoza, this kid. Y'all know I don't watch college football until these guys get to the combine. I don't got time for that. But I think that's, if I recall, that's what he said. But anyways, so I'm not sure that it would end up being. But again, overall leader. Landscape changes because Tomlin's available. Feelings can change all the time, because I heard something even different about a team now that I can correct. Real quick, Keith, I know you got to jump off. Rashad will stay on for a little bit. Parting shot on Steelers. Who you think should be the next head coach of your team, with me also tweeting out there that there could be a twist to somebody that potentially could fill that seat. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. At the top of my list will be Brian Flores. I would be reaching out to him right now. I think the time is right for him to come back into a head coaching spot. He has familiarity. Mike Tomlin famously threw him a lifeline when he wanted to get back into coaching and brought him into the Steelers. So he is familiar with the ownership group and can do some things with that.
Can you clarify? What did you just say? You said what?
Brian Flores.
You said, no, I know. Yeah. Repeat a little. Go back a little bit. What did you just say?
So what I said was that he's familiar with the organization. Tomlin threw him a lifeline when he wanted to get back into coaching.
Oh, Tomlin threw Brian. I thought you were saying Brian Flores through Tomlin.
That's why I was confused. No. We've all heard the story about how Flores made a sort of reached out to Tomlin as a mentor, and Tomlin, interjected and said, "Wait a minute, you want to coach?" and brought him in. It was my belief that they should have held on to him, and no disrespect to Terrell Austin whatsoever. But if you have Brian Flores in your building, you take the opportunity to find a way to make him your defensive coordinator, to keep him around. We've seen Flores have the success that he's had with the Vikings. You could argue that the Steelers probably might need more help with offense than they do with defense at the moment. But I would be looking to, if Flores is interested in a head coaching opportunity right now, he would be my first call and my preference. And for Tomlin, I look to a place where they've got a young quarterback already, and he doesn't have to worry about drafting one, because that's been a challenge for him in Pittsburgh since Roethlisberger retired. I look up to New York, where they already have Jackson Dart in place. I totally understand, Rashad, what you're saying about going to a team that has the cap space and has the money to spend and wants to bring somebody in. But I think if you're Tomlin,
that would be a complete, whole new, different vibe, unlike we've ever seen from the Giants.
It would be a completely different environment for them, for him, and a completely different move for the Giants. But you're talking about a defensive head coach not having to worry about rebuilding an offense around a quarterback that hasn't been drafted already. Their quarterback, at least for the now, if not for the future, is already in place, and Tomlin can get about the work of rebuilding a defense, and doing so on the biggest stage, because it doesn't get bigger in terms of NFL markets or sports markets than New York City.
And I think another seamless fit will be Atlanta, as far as everything that's fit, the vision, the culture, what's there already established. I think that'll be another big home run for him too.
And with Atlanta would love Mike Tomlin. With that being said, I've heard, and that Atlanta's got some strong impressions in their mind at the moment, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. Keith, I know you got to bounce. Want to make sure you get out here. Happy birthday! Don't be out there, doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. Don't be outside too long.
Don't make the headlines.
Don't be outside. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and read a book.
As you can imagine, I got some words that I got to write so I can cash that MSNBC check. So I'm about to go home and go on in the house and write these words. That's all I got.
Oh, and after the article is done,
I'm gonna watch some TV.
Happy birthday, Keith. I appreciate you. We get you on back soon, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, love. Rashad, stay with me. So, we're also trying to figure out who is going to be the head coach of your team. Right now, you and I have, I don't know, we've been talking about this offline, but finally got you on here. Tell me what you're currently thinking about, who you would like to see and who you think is necessary when you think about the current pieces on the New York Giants. Who you, as former running back of that NYG team, should be the head coach of the New York Giants?
It's a tough one as far as a head coach. As far as a head coach, I'm biased. I would love Mike Tomlin to come over there, and then just specifically the question is in who's the offensive coordinator, because we know he's going to be on the defensive side of the ball.
That's a big question. That's a big question because offensive coordinator, situation has been, up and down in his tenure in Pittsburgh. So that's a big question. But go ahead.
Yeah. I bring back the old head coach as the OC. Bring in Mike Tomlin as the head coach, and bring back who brought in Jackson Dart. Bring in Daboll as an offensive coordinator.
Do a Mike Tomlin, Brian Daboll collab? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
And look, somebody had to be the scapegoat.
Huh? What?
Hey, that's what I would like to see.
That's what Prince Amukamara.
I would like to see an offensive head coach and a defensive head coach. That's like, to me, it's nothing better than to see two different style of head coaches on the same team. I mean, when you look at the Bears and what they're doing.
Brian Daboll,
Dennis Allen he's a head coach. Two head coaches.
Can you be for real?
I don't think he got pride. They paying money.
What?
I don't think he got no pride in that. They paying money.
No. It's not even I mean, what just happened to your thing? I mean, listen, Prince Amukamara was just on here. I think he, you know who Prince Amukamara was advocating to be the next head coach of the Giants. What is going on with your phone? You are all over. Just hold it still. What's he doing? Jazzercise and holding the camera in the car at the same time. Hold the damn thing still. I said, you know who Prince Amukamara was advocating for?
Who he said?
You ready for this? I mean, and the people listening out there, I'm just, I don't mean nothing by that. I know that Rashad would not guess. That's what I mean. So I'm like, hey, what I said. Okay.
My linebacker. You bring back the linebacker? Who?
No, he didn't say Antonio Pierce. I don't even think he remembered that he was. Obviously, he's got love for Antonio, but I don't think he might even remember that he was in the flow of things. But he said Matt Nagy because he previously was in Chicago. He got love for Matt. What do you think about that?
I don't know if that fits. I mean, listen. I'll tell you right
and
now,
I
it
tend
doesn't
to
really.
agree with that. Not even a 10. I do agree with that. Let's just keep it a buck. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Giants are one of the younger, better rostered teams that I think is very attractive for an established head coach. Seeing that they're going to get away with a franchise quarterback, which seems to be that way in Jackson Dart, for the next 3 to 4 years without having to pay that position. And then they also got Malik Neighbors, you got Scatterboo, you got some 3 solid running backs over there. You got some young tight ends, some good defensive linemen. Like, you got some pieces that are going to be hooked in a contract for the next couple of
I think you
years.
can call the Giants
And
D-line better than good. There are pieces on there that are better than good, so we'll give them that.
oh,
As far as
no
the
doubt,
Giants.
no doubt,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the secondary, you want to do a couple different things in, but as far as that offense is concerned, the offensive line, I have to give it a little bit more credit than we have been able to in the previous years. They held up pretty well. They play some winnable football. So I'm telling you, it's a very attractive position to be in the head coach in New York.
Is your thumb over the microphone of your phone? Is your thumb over the microphone? Rashad, is your thumb over the microphone? Lord have mercy.
I'm not sure what's going on with the mic.
Y'all players got all this money and then coming on here with Boost mobile phones. I just do not understand. You need to go and come back in? You want to go and come back in? Rashad, go and come back in and fix your shot. If you can hear me, I'll remove you and just come back in. Okay, as soon as I see Rashad, I'll put him back in. I'll quarterback this thing for a second. So we were talking about the Giants and who should be head coach. Obviously, he was mentioning liking Mike Tomlin. I mentioned Prince Amukamara was talking about liking the prospect of Matt Nagy. Obviously, there are a ton of people who would like to see John Harbaugh in that seat. I, for one, think that the Giants need consistency. They need culture. They need credibility in that seat. And they need someone who can grab the ears of Jackson Dart, someone he's going to listen to, and also really get across to him just the importance of, longevity and protecting himself, all of that. A couple of things that I do want to mention while I'm waiting on Rashad here, just that because I promised you. Hold on one second. Let me. Get your camera up. Lord have mercy. Anyways, while he's figuring that out, because I can't do this and do that at the same time, if you can hear me, Rashad, I just wanted to tell y'all, what did I hear about the Eagles? So we know that the Eagles have recently announced that they're moving on from offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. A league source told me, and I'll tweet this out as well after this live link, that Cliff Kingsbury, who was a runner-up when he was hired, Kellen Moore. So guys like him and Stefanski will get a real look, potentially at that job. And that's obviously assuming Kevin Stefanski does not get a head coaching nod somewhere else, which with all these openings, I do think, he will be in the mix for something. We can have a discussion as to whether we think that should be the case or not. So I wanted to mention that. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I saw out there, I saw on a tweet, I'm not going to go into who, because I don't need to do all that. That's not my style. But I did see that there was a tweet out there that said that there were a trio of, oh, yes, that's right, that there were a trio of teams that were considered favorites for one of the head coaching candidates that are out there. I'm not going to go into who and the whatever, because, then it's like, oh, she's saying this. No. You find a tweet, you figure it out. But what I am going to say for now, and I will clarify that later, I'm not going to do it right this second, but what I will say is that one of those teams on that tweet is not correct. And matter of fact, there is a team out there that as far as what I heard today, there is a team out there that is starting to get a good lather about one of the candidates out there as well. The only reason I'm not trying to be purposely cryptic because people, oh, you always being cryptic. No. The reason why I say things like that is because, there's business going out there. So I'm mindful of that. I'm mindful of, my sources. I say things when I can say them. And then when I do, I get more specific. So I don't need to be cryptic about anything with regards to that. The other thing is, real quick, just give me a second. We are on a live stream. Let me just call Rashad back real quick and then just see what's his deal. I know he needed to drive and go somewhere. And I know Rich Dollars just texted me and said he can't jump on right now. And we still have to do the live stream with Morris Chestnut, especially after his Eagles loss. I know he's filming in Canada right now for that show, Watson, for those of you who watch it on CBS. Give me 1 second. Let me just call Rashad right quick. And then we'll continue on for a hot second. But I do appreciate. Hey, what's going on? Okay, well, I clear. Well, so one of the things that was going on is that you were in on the backstage twice. So if you want to try to come back in, your box was up twice. Just try to make sure that your camera is horizontal, and then I can try to patch you in. All right. Hurry up. I mean, this is what I don't understand. Y'all, these players, they got all these commas and zeros in their bank accounts and they can't figure out their phones and have one with a darn signal, even though he's under a tree somewhere. So, yeah, so let's go back to Mike Tomlin real quick. So obviously, he's available now. It'll be very interesting to see what he ultimately decides to do in terms of the plethora of opportunities that will be at his feet, in terms of, is he going to go, in coach? Is he going to take something from TV, which I am not sure that unless a TV network, and I think Andrew Marchand might have had something on this. I didn't read the article, but I saw the tweet. So if he said this in there, I didn't get to see it. But I'm not sure that there's a TV bag out there that can match the NFL owner's bag right now. That would be a lot of money to be committing in the middle of the NFL season, going on as far as, negotiations and things like that. Especially if they're trying to get him on for the postseason run, although I guess you could amend and modify that contract, moving forward. But anyway, so that would be interesting. And then, like I said, I do believe, oh, here's Rashad. Here you go. We're back with Rashad Jennings, former Giants running back. Don't be driving and being on the live stream at the same time. I can't handle that. Are you static? Is your shot static? Okay, there you go. Lord, what kind of service do you have? Because whatever you have, I'll make sure I don't get it. Huh? What'd you say? What'd you say?
Listen, San Diego is different.
Okay.
It's spotty out here in San Diego.
Okay. And so what service do you have? I just want to make sure everybody's listening so they don't get it. Huh? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have Verizon right now. That's what I'm paying for.
Oh, okay. Well, damn.
That is my service.
Something that's for real going on. Hey, so the other thing I wanted you to talk about real quick is just when you think about these openings that are going on right now, we were talking about the Giants, you said that you would like Mike Tomlin. When you think about some of these other vacancies, and hopefully your shot is not frozen because it looks like that, right? But I hope you can hear me. Who would you place where? So when you think about Baltimore, Arizona, Miami, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, I know I'm forgetting something. Who else is out there? What's the other three? Or the Browns? I think I said the Titans. Atlanta. There you go. Who would you place where? And I have a list. Matter of fact, I did do a list because I was on the phone with my sources, and I said I just wanted to put. And this is constantly changing, but I'll put my list together. I did put my list together, so you could tell me where you think, and then I'll tell you where I think everybody's gonna go, if I can find it. Go ahead.
If I had to put it, I'll put Mike Tomlin in Atlanta, John Harbaugh, Pittsburgh.
You said you put John Harbaugh where?
Pittsburgh.
Oh. Uh-huh. You must be on one bar, bro. Good Lord have mercy. Hello?
Yeah, it's a weird. I'm not sure what's going on.
How many bars does your phone have?
4.
4 bars? What'd you say?
Yeah, we live over here. I say live over here. That's what internet you got.
No, because my shot is static. I'm in my studio. I've got 1,000 GBs, come through because I make sure I'm steady. So I got my extra boost in my studio. So I know I'm never worried about that. But anyways, we could try one more time, and if not, then I'll give my list and then wrap up this stream and then tell the folks to just watch. Okay, well, there we go. Listen, Rashad, thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. I know you tried. I don't know what's going on. If you can hear me in the backstage, just get on the road, drive safely. We'll chop it up later, and I'll try to round up, some folks, and we'll talk about this. But as a matter of fact, the more I think about it, I'll probably just leave that list alone. Maybe I'll do it later on another show because then I don't want any articles popping up off. Oh, isn't it? So, but anyways, it's been interesting. Are you trying to come back in again? It's been it. Okay, Rashad, I'm gonna give you one more time. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, Justin. It's kind of wild.
That's better. That's better. Just hold
Hear
your
you
phone.
sound like a little robot.
I sound like a robot?
Yeah, but we can make it work.
Okay,
But
just hurry
I
up
was
and try
saying,
to
I
give
put
me a
John
list.
Harbaugh, Pittsburgh.
Okay, Harbaugh, Pittsburgh. Okay.
What other coach?
Atlanta.
Atlanta, I'm putting Mike Tomlin.
Okay, Atlanta, Mike Tomlin.
What other coaches out there? That's out there.
Yeah. Brian Flores, Kevin Stefanski, Mike LaFleur. Let me look at my list. Hold on one second. So you've got Tomlin,
Florida, Green Bay, put him in Miami. Put him in Flores.
Who?
I mean, Florida. Yeah, Florida. Put him down in Miami.
Flores is not going back to Miami. You just lost all credibility saying that. Why would he be going back to Miami? No, he's not going to be in Miami. Huh?
Listen,
you said
so
what?
when it comes to coaches, like exactly, how many coaches ever went back? How many coaches ever went back to the same organization?
Dude, he is not going back to Miami. Just stop it. Just to give you some other names, and then we're going to wrap this up real quick. Clint Kubiak, Jim Schwartz, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel, Kevin Stefanski, Mike LaFleur, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, to name a few. You want to try to hurry up and match those names?
So, Mike Saleh.
So where would
I
you put
see him or John? Either one of the two. Either John Harbaugh go to Pittsburgh or he's going to the Browns, and Mike Saleh's getting the other, whichever one.
Robert Saleh, not Mike Saleh. Robert Saleh. His name is Robert. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's just leave it there because your thing is sounding hella janky right now, and I don't even know what's going on with this live stream. But I do appreciate y'all jumping on. Hopefully, some of the people that were listening, you did get a chance to listen to Keith and Rashad, some of the nuggets that I dropped on this stream, also on my timeline. Make sure you do keep it locked on my Twitter timeline. I'm always going to be dropping stuff there. Yesterday, I was busy doing a Lil Kiki and Kendrick Perkins show, and so that's why I was a little bit busy yesterday. Trying to come in for that show, but it's gonna, once we get past this second phase, right now it's almost it's like too many names. Let me just take you off right now. Right now it's like too many names out there. Almost prefer when things get to the second shift of things, so we can have it narrowed down, because it's just, this person is in the let's get it narrowed down, and when it's time to be for real talking about who's going where, then I can chime in. We're not going to be every minute talking about the Titans and their list of 20 and all that other stuff. Let's get this thing narrowed down and get to these for real interviews, and who is coming in person, and who legitimately, has a substantive idea about where they want to be. And then get that news out there. In between, I will be, trying to give you guys some extra nuggets and all that other stuff. I think I'm going to leave it there for right now. I do appreciate you guys jumping on this impromptu live stream for the exhibit show in the middle of the day. I know people are still doing what they got to do. Do keep a heads up. At some point, we'll get Morris Chestnut back on here to talk about his Eagles, departing and of the postseason. Rich and Clarence and those guys from the NFC East will get a chance to chomp back at him. And then who else is going to come on? There's a GM who asked to jump on my show, so I'm going to try to see if I can get him on before the Super Bowl starts. And that's just an energy thing on my part. And then we do have an actress who's been asking to come on the show since the start of the postseason. And I'm just trying to get myself together and bring her on at some point here. So there's a lot of stuff coming up, especially with the postseason crescendoing in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. But I do appreciate you watching this live stream for the exhibit show. I'm your girl, Josina Anderson, and we are out. Peace.